The 3 years of business. Have we been in business 3 years? This will be good B-roll.
Almost 5.
All right. The 5 years of business that Belong's been in business. That sounds terrible. I don't know. My brain broke.
We felt restricted when we were looking for our first jobs out of college and our first ways that we could be creative. And that resonated with us to the point that it inspired us to start a company. We created Belong Designs not knowing that we were going to do apparel at all, which is it's kind of funny. We're all mechanical engineers, and when we created it, it was more mission driven than it was product driven. We created our first t-shirts because we were broke. We had $800 in college, and that's what we could do to start. So we started with branding ourselves and then seeing people interact and understanding how clothing represents somebody's beliefs or lifestyle or the things that they want to do, help inspire them. We stuck with it. We found this passion in clothing, but had no idea that that's kind of the route it would take.
What continues to motivate me is just seeing others get inspired by what we do. Having people come up to our booth and say the message really, inspires them to do what they love and follow their passion and go out and do what they enjoy doing.
What motivates me in the Belong business is definitely just seeing, like I said, the impact on people that it has and, inspiring people. We, for instance, had an event.
It was a ski, before the season, rail jam, where they brought in snow and stuff to Colorado Christian University.
Our first event, and we had no idea what we were doing. We were carrying in clothing in cardboard boxes, and they were ripping, and clothing was falling on the grass, and we were trying to set up. We were already late to this event. It was our first event. We had a 10 by 10 tent that we just had made for it, and we were selling next to bigger brands, well-known brands.
It was kind of our first time selling to people with Vans and Candy Grind and other big companies right next to us, and we did surprisingly very, very well compared to those other brands, and everyone was loving our message, loving our clothing. And
there's this one girl that got so caught up in our mission itself, and she was like, I get that. I believe it was bioscientist.
Our mission has truly inspired her to not go into microbiology, but go into something that she loved. And it was just amazing to see that transformation happen by simply stating our mission.
She got a hoodie and she held up the hoodie and was like, this is gonna be my reminder to do what I love. And that was the coolest thing for us. We reflected at dinner that night. We're just talking that was the coolest thing ever. This girl is changing the way that she's attacking the next year of her life based on our beliefs and what we're putting out there in the world. So it's pretty cool.
That was when we first realized that we probably have something here and can, make it doing what we love. So.
And it's pretty inspiring when a single person buys into your dreams or your mission.
We've had so many ups and downs with the brand. The ups are amazing. It's a roller coaster ride. The downs are also just are we going to be in business tomorrow? But along the way, having those two, awesome best friends and business partners along by my side, we can kind of take on anything, I feel, at this point.
There's a lot of situations where we probably could have done things better, but thankfully the mistakes we made were, small failures where we were able to learn from them and they didn't hinder our growth or anything like that. But, those were more important than the successes we had just because we learned from them and moved forward and got bigger and better from those failures.
After being in business for a few years, Belong definitely means the world to myself, Ben, and Mark. From starting at Mines to, going through definitely some pitfalls of learning manufacturing and learning different things, all the way to, now running a full line every spring and every fall. Operating our own retail shop, owning a few companies from that first company that we started. Belong, like I said, it means the world to me, and since we started, it's just amazing to see the amount of people that it has impacted and, inspired and touched.
Since starting, almost 5 years ago now. Basically, the brand has never changed, so the mission has stayed the same since the first day we started. I think that as it's grown, it's just become more important to myself, Mark, Seamus, everybody that's been involved day to day.
Still means, follow your passion, do what you love, find where you belong. It hasn't really changed at all from year one to now. Still get to spend every day with, my best friends.
Our mission was follow your passion, do what you love, find where you belong. It's not to be the most fashionable human on the planet. The clothing is supposed to be something that looks good, feels better, but the mission is the core value of the brand. So I don't think we'll have any trouble keeping it because that's what people buy into every time they wear our product.